Good day, students. In this video, I am going to narrate the story of a Chinese tale entitled The Tiger Son. Before anything else, I am going to explain to you the characters of this story. Shenma, her son, and Fuji, the tiger son. Once there was an elderly widow named Shenma who lived with her only son inside the forest of Shaanxi province. Her son was one of the tiger hunters licensed by the magistrate who followed the profession of his father and grandfather before him. The shares they get from the sale of tiger skins, meats, and bones are sufficient enough to sustain the needs of himself and his mother. All is well until a bitter winter came. During the snowstorm, Shenma's son was separated by his fellow hunters and became the food of hungry tigers. After Shenma's shock and grief subsided, she took stock all her alone and utterly lived in desperate situation. An old woman lived all alone.
She went and implored the magistrate to provide her with compensation. The magistrate decreed that henceforth she would have the small share of profits from the kill of each tiger.
When the hunters succeeded in killing the tigers who ate Shenma's son, they decided to not give or share the profits, but instead they brought the tiger's newborn cub. After the hunters left, the cub wobbled at where Shenma sat and laid her head on her feet. Shenma bent down and rubbed his ears, and the cub licked the shoes with her soft tongue. The elder woman sighed and said,
They told me to butcher you, to salt and smoke your flesh for my meat supply.
And so she untied the rope at the little tiger's neck and fed her with cooked roots with her fingers. Ever so often, Shenma sustained and survived. She did sewing, and in return, she received dried venison and grains. At first, the neighbors didn't find the presence of the cub because it was just a small size, like a piglet. But then, as the cub grows to its maximum size like a calf, the neighbors started to feel something that is doubtful. Since she was so determined, they dared not to kill her tiger. And so, they followed Shenma to the magistrate. Shenma said to the magistrate,
Honorable sir, what is there to fear? I have lived too long. The only worry I have now is being left utterly alone. Please let me adopt this young tiger, for he has become like a son in my affections.
In order to protect the tiger from the hunters' spears and arrows, the magistrate ordered a copper that is large enough to hang around the tiger's neck. The pendant is engraved Fuji as a sign of a tiger's son. As a sign of gratitude, Shenma knelt down and knocked her forehead 3 times, and then she led Fuji back to their home.
By next winter, Fuji had grown into his maximum size, so Shenma allowed him to make a cave nearby. However, the affectionate tiger came back to visit his adopted mother often, always bringing a gift in his mouth. It is a dead deer or a large piece of tree branch. Shenma's needs were being cared for just as if her natural son was still alive. After Chenma died at the ripe old age past 100, the hunters noticed Fuchi guarded her tomb nightly. They left him unmolested as he had never attacked any humans or domestic animal. This went on for a number of years, and then one day, the tiger was seen no more. Out of deep respect and admiration for the filial tiger son, the hunters erected a small stone monument at Shenma's home with Fuchi's story engraved on it. Henceforth, Fuchi became a household legend in that part of Sanxi province.